be interviewing as a team.
We're here to fuck shit up.
If worms had machine guns, then birds wouldn't be scared of them. You know, it's
They're here.
Yo, and welcome to the Trailer Park of Fantasy Sports Shows. We are in like the muck of redraft, like preseason. I can't wait for the regular season. I'm done with preseason stuff, but we will do one big final mock with a bunch of friends on here. And I don't want to talk too much, so I want to kind of get right into it. You know who I am. I'm Streets. You know who's right next to me. The one, the only.
In other words, hold my hand. I think you're key.
Sean
Never
Michael Green. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? How you doing? Ready for this?
Good. Yes.
Mega Bowl. It's here.
Mega Bowl mock. So before I'm going to play the intro, if anybody out there is curious what we're here for,
It's a Mega Bowl. What's not to understand? This is history in the making. You're going to want to tell your grandkids and their grandkids and their grandkids.
What? I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
gets the people going. That's exactly what we're going to do. Is we have a lot of guests. So with that being said, without further ado, I want to bring everybody on. I want to get this mock going. We'll get to the comments. We'll get to everything else. But it's game time. You ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
And let's do this. I hope everybody waiting in the background's ready too. Get loose, get stretched out. It's go time. We are ready, and we are live, and we are bringing everybody in. Look who even showed up here. Look at this.
Oh, we got
that was in the waiting room.
What's up?
What is up, everyone? You guys ready?
Very ready.
Just get you a little jazzed up there, get you going. The greatest. I'm not even a Bulls fan, by the way, but that's still the greatest intro.
It is the greatest sports intro
franchise
ever.
Ever. All right, I will get this started. Let's see. Give me a sec. So, like 2-minute clock. Spence, you're actually going to kick this one off. I just need to tell.
Got 7 out of 12 on? I like it. I
just need to tell him that we're starting, Tim, who also will be joining us, who's honestly doing an AEW watch along right now. So he's going to hop over. All right. Let's get this bad boy started. Let's roll right into it. And there we go. Final mock of the year. Well, you took a whole lot of time there, Spence, to make that choice. CMC,
I
huh?
thought he might make it to me.
Got to be CMC.
Does that hurt you to do that over Jonathan Taylor there?
No, I did it last year too.
I think
He is.
he's unanimous, right? I mean, does anyone
Does anyone
lean
have
CeeDee
anybody
Lamb?
else at 1-1?
Unless you're just trying to go against the injury risk, I don't really see the argument against it. I mean, you could always, if you want to be a wide receiver guy, then it's like I understand if you want to, take CD just on numbers, still the guy in Dallas. But aside from the injury, worry of McCaffrey, I don't see how you argue against it ever.
Yeah, I think if I know a lot of people they do underdog and they try to do their different portfolio builds and they want to start with the receivers, which I understand, but you gotta take CMC in my opinion.
Yeah, I get it. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. We did that first mock. 400 touch seasons, man. At 29 years old, coming off, that's tough. Like, you're the Niners fan. Are they just going to run him into the ground again, or are they going to ease him throughout the season and just get him to the playoffs?
Honestly, I think they will. He's going to get a heavy workload again. I think they will incorporate Mason, who's looked pretty good in camp, and I think they will incorporate Mitchell a little bit more. But he just makes so many things happen, and Shanahan's stubborn about taking him out. Even when we're in blowouts, we've been up so much, and he's still running, and I don't understand it. You're going to get him hurt. He's had an injury history, so
big thing.
They drafted Isaac and
Garendo was injured now.
He's gone for a long, long time.
Right, and they're saying that he might, if he doesn't make it back in time, that they're gonna have to put him on season-ending IR just to stash him.
So is that his cuff then? Is that who you would take if you take CMC one later?
Everyone's talking about Jordan Mason this week now.
I know.
I still lean Mitchell and Mason personally.
Look at it. Look at this green. Whoo! Getting hot.
What is happening?
It's the year of the rock for sure.
Oh man.
I think
Cowboy in the house.
Oh my goodness.
It was a movie.
I think you only get the chance at CMC at 1. So
that's
even like you were talking about for the portfolio thing, like it's still better to just take CMC every time you get the 101 because you're only going to get it every 12 drafts on average. So you have to. That only gives you 8% of CMC. So if you decided to take someone else, you would be really underweight versus the field. You're putting yourself at risk for just like never having the best team at the end of the year.
Yeah,
valid point.
That makes sense. And you can handcuff him. Like if he does go down, whoever steps in that offense is going to be pretty damn good each week for you in fantasy.
I want to ask Andrew why JJ over CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I'll tell you, I've had like a lot of, I guess Justin, just since Jefferson's been in the league, I've just had very little exposure to him. And I think I'm having this little, I don't want to say renaissance of him from the end of last year and this whole quarterback worry. I just think this guy is going to do it. And especially if there's any problems with Jordan Addison, Hawk's already out. I mean, this is a very narrow target tree. And, it doesn't look like anything scared me away in camp from what we've seen from McCarthy. And, I still think, Darnold can go bombs away, even if it's the two of them.
To the ghosts.
And so for me, it's like Jefferson's just
like you are up, buddy.
If Jefferson's been the man, for the last 3 years in fantasy, aside from McCaffrey, like I'm going to take Jefferson this year. I don't want to say dark horse because it's silly. He's a top 10 pick, but I have no problems pulling the trigger on Jefferson as the number 1 receiver. And Cheetah's. I would be into Cheetah, but a little just same thing. Age, he could kind of pull up at any moment, and then that's that. So I rather shade towards Young, and I'm not as worried about Jefferson with any kind of injury.
Yeah, I
That's fair.
don't. You spit it. You hit on something. Kevin O'Connell's going to throw the football. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is out there. They're just going to throw the football. So, Hawk is down. The volume's going to be there.
He could get force fed the ball, much like CeeDee Lamb was last year in Dallas. But
I don't have
depending
Lamb as
on
my one either. So I'm not
Right.
on the Lamb as my wide receiver one train. I know that's a
me thing.
That's Blake who got him, my wide receiver one.
And I hate the Vikings even more than the Packers as a Bears fan. So, I just won't hold any grudges for the year.
So I have another question here for Darcy. Why Amon-Ra over Chase? What's your lean on that?
Well, it's full PPR, and he's going to get peppered with targets nonstop. I really would have gone Tyreek over him, but with him being gone right before me, I was pretty happy sitting there knowing Tyreek or Amon-Ra were going to fall to me. So Chase is a big play guy, and obviously he gets a lot of volume, but I think Amon-Ra is going to get even more.
I like Amon-Ra a lot this year too. He's his PPR.
Are y'all watching receiver? Are y'all watching receiver?
Finish that.
Finished really it, good. Yeah.
I love Amon-Ra. I'm a Bears fan, and it kills me. I need maybe a Pro Bowl jersey, something of one day of his. I can't get a Lions jersey, so
that I got a USC helmet.
Oh, see, maybe a college jersey. That just kind of gives me a. That's a good idea, actually.
I do love
the college jerseys.
Streets. What you need now? You need the USC Amon-Ra, but then just put it right next to USC Caleb.
Yeah. Oh, and just start. I know. Sean's shaking his head. Get that UFC. USC. Up.
We're Michigan. We are Michigan. Hello.
Don't forget. Okay.
Hill, Amon-Ra, and Chase right there.
I'll look it up for a video. Thank you, Blake, for doing that. Because I was looking for something. I can't find it.
Three of those.
You know what to do. Hail to the victor's valiant. Hail to the.
Hey, we got to enjoy it. It's probably the last time we're ever gonna win. So.
Well, now we got a postseason ban. So.
San Diego Chargers.
Was it San Diego Superchargers? Is that what it was?
So we go 3 green right out the gate. I like that, by the way.
That is nice.
That's just
the running backs are steaming up the board in this offseason. It seems like
whole lot of blue. Garrett Wilson. Oh, yeah, that's right. You do have him right there. And that's you. No, it makes sense.
I do like Garrett Wilson. As long as Rodgers is healthy, I think he's going to force feed him the ball. They already have chemistry. They're already arguing on the sidelines, which is actually great because that means that they're getting on the same page.
See,
ultimately,
who do you go here? This is where the Garrett Wilson thing pops in my head more interesting because I prefer him in the second because of what you just said, but I get it. 40-year-old quarterback off major ankle surgery.
It is a concern because if he does go down, they have Tyrod Taylor now, which is nice. But at the same time, I think you just got to bank on Rodgers being healthy. You got to go in with the
if
idea
I could start,
that these guys are going to be healthy.
That's pretty good. See, if I would like Taylor Wilson start. I'd be completely fine with that. Then you were about to pick away, but Barkley's still.
I'm fine with Barkley. You get an anchor running back.
I do have to say, although Spence will bet you right now on the Swift Barkley.
I already know he's wrong, but that's okay. It's okay to be wrong, but stand on your morals.
I just said there's a chance. It's not like it's likely.
It's a slim chance, very slim.
I think
I love it. Be bold.
Slim.
Take some swings.
We'll make a wager for Vegas next year. We'll see how it ends up.
If Blake Corum is just like a basic dude, rookie, and if Kyron's healthy, I'm not on the Kyron train per se, but he could easily just do it. He really could. There's no lack of love from McVay. Is everyone just that scared of Blake Corum?
I think a lot of people are just afraid of Kyron in general, but I think the people that are afraid are wrong. Maybe
I
I'm
think
have
there's some
Kyren
injury fear there too.
because he got a
Yeah.
lot of touches last
He
year.
did.
You're right, Darcy.
and he was hurt, and he still got hurt.
Cam Akers' history. I think everybody's still caught up on that. What happened to Cam Akers there? But Kyron's
not the
never,
same guy.
shown to argue with the coach or anything. So
He didn't demand a trade yet and do some weird stuff at camp. So I like Kyren.
Cam Akers, I think he was getting a tryout for the Texans this week, so he's still on the board.
I believe
That was
they actually
interesting.
signed him.
I believe he won't be on this board tonight
Mhm.
unless we're going about 30 or 40 rounds, maybe.
He's definitely not on this board. I like Derrick Henry. I went PP tough. I don't know where to rank, but I definitely took him second pick in the second round in a non-PPR draft on Friday night.
If Henry fell to me in this draft, I would have taken him immediately.
Yeah, I
think he's a lock
probably
for double-digit touchdowns.
my brain. I got to get it. Even though I keep saying PPR, non-PPR, I just got to get rid of that in my head with Derrick Henry because I think he's going to be a workhorse back who scores double-digit touchdowns. So
Things are changing. It's like just a really loose parallel, but like we're watching like LeBron in the Olympics right now at 40. Things are changing with like aged health with certain people, and it's like some guys are cyborgs, and it's becoming easier to do that, I guess, in today's sports medicine. So like I think sometimes we just, even though we have to go with like past math, I think the math is slowly changing, and so maybe the risk isn't as high, especially with someone like Henry. I don't know.
Well, he's
I'm not
a
talking.
machine. He's a monster.
there's even saying that there's no
Oh, I'm on the clock.
like model for what Derrick Henry is, right? It's like a mutant in a sense.
I
You
said
never seen him.
cyborg, Treats. I said
everyone,
cyborg. Okay?
Cyborg,
everyone
mutant,
after
same
Derrick
thing.
Henry,
He's like a superhero, is what he is. That's how he's built. So,
the picks after him are just a lot less certain. You're looking at Devontae Adams with maybe not the best QB. Drake London waiting
there's
for
a
him
level
to
of safety. You are
break
right.
out. Yeah,
Nice level of safety to him right there. You know what you
Well,
get. That's
I'm about to-
when you do these. That's basically what we're weighing, right? Risk versus.
I'm
I
about to
think
make-
he's the first running back that was taken that has really no chance of finishing as the RB1 though.
Henry, that's probably true,
Probably true.
Yeah, Henry.
but you probably at that point, if you get top 5, 6 out of it, I think you're probably fine still in your brain.
Yeah.
But
But just
that
Kyron
is
and up,
Chase
any of
could
them
be
could
the number
finish
one
RB1.
receiver in that like lineup. So if you have you could have number one receiver and top 5 back. Potentially.
Darcy, I love the Olave pick. All in on him this year. We talked about this a million times. Love the offensive coordinator there. Kubiak, so I wanted the Bears to get. I think you might see you might see a little bit of St. Brown and Olave this year in the numbers. A-Dot's going to go down for sure. More catches, more yak. Overall, still to me going to be. And then
It's more of a hope
It is.
shot for me, but
It's more of a what?
a hope shot. Like I don't know. Well, if he can put it all together, maybe.
It won't bottom
I
out.
think the upside is there, but
And then Pacheco, Blake, round 2, coming right in.
I was
He is
wondering-
the
First
dark.
QB.
He is the one guy.
Tim's always going to take the QB.
Oh yeah, Tim's always taking Allen.
I told you when it autoed him Allen in round 3 that was late. Like if
Yeah,
it
you're
was
like,
if he was really here, he would have done it in 2 and not even had to get him there and autoed in 3.
The thing with Olave is I saw something on Twitter earlier, and somebody was saying that last year there was so much hype and steam around Olave, and this year he just kind of feels like a meh pick. But at the same time, in a new offense, a new modern offense, I mean, he's got the skill set where he could hit 1,000. He could be really explosive every week. He's not as exciting to pick this year, I think, as he was last year. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
He's gonna be catching balls from Spencer Rattler at the end of the year.
that
he
is a
was
possibility.
still
We'll see.
it's possible, but he was still wide receiver 16 in PPR last year. And I don't
With
think he gets
basically no
Zola,
touchdown equity either. He had, I mean, he doesn't even score. And I'm starting to I don't know if I was talking to Streets or someone else about this. I said, we're like about another year away from saying, is Olave any different than Terry McLaurin? It's a very close situation there. And it could dissolve. I mean, because who knows how long Derek Carr will be around. And I mean, I love Terry McLaurin, and he's the model of consistency. But it's like we're not drafting Terry McLaurin in the second or third round. And
right, you're getting the same.
I think if it's another year of that, I think Olave's gonna start to fall into that bucket.
Well, you're right, and I look at Olave. It's not so
I
much
love
his fault.
Olave.
I think,
Don't get me wrong.
like Scamper said in the chat, Dennis Allen. That's the biggest problem. I think if he lets Kubiak run the offense the way he wants, I think he's going to be fine. And you're going to see a lot of him, like he said, the pairing with Amon-Ra and Olave going together, and that's a great start for a
good start.
However many receivers start you have. And for me, like seeing London, right? I'm still not bought in completely with the Falcons, but I need to get there in the next month.
I know you've been hating.
That's a me thing.
Just to touch on what Scamper said, Dennis Allen shouldn't be coaching. I can't believe that players play for him. Like, he must be super different behind a camera or something.
Those clips are like hideous.
They're
It's like,
so bad.
Uninspiring and like horrible. Like, great, thanks, man. I'll work harder.
Yeah.
Can I have some soup, sir, please? Like, my
he doesn't
God,
back his players whatsoever.
not seeing it.
I don't see him making it through the season personally, but
I was shocked he made it to this season.
He just drives that. He
Honestly.
like steamrolls everybody up there. It's crazy.
I think the London, Olave, Garrett Wilson group is interesting. Like, Wilson went almost a full round earlier, but they're all kind of in a similar bucket. Like, you're hoping the QB play improves and their peripherals, like yards per route run and ADOT get better and stuff like that, and then it translates to fantasy points. But they could all still just have like 13, 14 points per game again, and we're kind of holding the bag and drafting like Mike Evans around later and Devonta Adams like later and stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're right. Like with that,
It's-
I see Adams in that same boat as well. I mean, if the players themselves are fantastic, but if the quarterbacks can't get them the ball, it's all a moot point.
Yeah, that's where my issue with Wilson. It's tough on that turn. However, though, like when we first did the rankings, I had Puka ahead of him. But then when I did my first draft, and I was like, can I really take Puka ahead of Wilson? I can't physically do it all of a sudden when I'm making a draft pick. So I kind of moved them both back, and I'd rather just take like Taylor in one of these guys that are going in early round 2 and just bump them up into round 1. I feel like it's safer, and then take one of them on the turnaround. I do like Spence, by the way. I love Jonathan Taylor this year.
yeah, I do too.
I love
It's great value. I mean,
Yeah,
I think he has a very similar chance of finishing RB1 as like Bijan or Brees do. People are scared of AR5. I don't think it's really warranted. There's been plenty of running backs who excel with rushing quarterbacks and stuff like that. I mean, everyone's boasting Saquon, but he's right next to Hurts, and Henry's right next to Lamar. Like, I don't know. He's already done it. He could do it again. It's not like some outlandish thing. But you get him like a lot later than you used to.
Yeah, it's round 2. You're getting a first round running back in my eyes in round 2. Workload and all. Situation.
On some
everything.
sites like ESPN, Yahoo, he's like more like mid round 2 and stuff. Like, you can get really good value.
Know the platform you're on too, because like you just said with ESPN. Because if they rank him in the middle of round 2, he's going in round 2. Casual people that draft out there are going to draft whoever's on the list that pops up on their screen. They're not going to scroll for a little while. They're not going to do so. That's an absolute steal to me. And then but even if I take him end of round 1, then I get Garrett Wilson on the turn, which has happened before. then I feel just a lot more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
So I have a question for Gator. Sell me on, well, not really a question, but sell me on Cooper Cup. Why do I need to be back in on him this year? Is he, if he's healthy, obviously, we know what he did a couple years ago, but now with Puka there, sell me on why I should draft him in the third round.
So I'm not 100% sure how many games he played last year, but I think it was only like 11 or 12. I'd want to recheck that, but regardless, he had 4 wide receiver 1 games, and he was absolutely just peppered with targets there. Puka might hit sophomore slump. Like, how was Anquan Bolden in year 2 in Arizona? Like, the Stafford Cup thing, as long as Stafford's there, like, they're always getting breakfast. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, he's one I've had a hard time with him. I know he's a good player. It's just the injuries have worried me, and I don't know. And I feel like if Cup does stay healthy, then he's going to lower the ceiling of Puka, right? I mean, you feel like they're going to kind of cannibalize each other, or are they both going to thrive with Stafford?
I think they both thrive. I think they both can coexist. The biggest issue for Cup for me is the injury thing, and does he play a full season? And the reason why I'm willing to take Puka where he goes is because the floor is not bottoming out on Puka or Cup in my eyes, as long as they're both on the field. But if Cup misses 5-6 games, you're ranking Puka top 4 wide receiver that week.
Right.
If Cooper Cup's out, like we've seen it before. So
and vice versa.
Really, you are. So Puka's out, Cooper Cup you're ranking in there as long as he's out there. So it is kind of a vice versa thing. We've just seen like Cup's only really put it together and stayed healthy like 1 full year. It feels like. But he is good when he does play per game. I don't hate it. And I think both could be top 14 wide receivers this year.
I just want to say I feel like April got like insane value on Brandon Ayuk. I don't know.
That was my next pick.
I was gonna take him on my turn, but I didn't want to put 2 49ers on the same team in the first 3 rounds. So I was like,
you should have.
I was like, I'll let him go. Like somebody else will grab him. That's
Everyone
insane
loves
to get him in the
Yap.
4th.
It's just uncertainty,
At 3-2, I had it was well. If you listen, DK is my guy, but for this season. But yeah, Ayuk, DK, and Waddle were all right there for me.
Debo going before Ayuk is, I feel like, unheard of. I feel like that's very rare.
I think it's just because of the contract.
Why is that?
But like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I think Debo should go high. I think they should go right next to each other. There's no reason for them to be crazy spread apart, but not the opposite either. Ayuk has the bonus of maybe getting traded. It's not like he's going to go to a worse location.
Bonus. That's a downgrade, sir.
There's no chance it's a downgrade.
It is.
The only places that he would go, he would be the number 1 unquestioned. I mean, he kind of is right now, anyways. But he wouldn't have to deal with Debo, CMC, or Kittle, or a low pass volume team. Like it'd probably be a higher passing volume team.
Yeah, my thing with him is it would have to depend on where he ended up. If he goes to Pittsburgh, I don't think that's a great fit. New England, I don't think that's a great fit. Washington, there is some upside there. But again, does he take a back seat to McLaurin? Does McLaurin take a back seat to him? I don't know how
just
that would
stay
work
out of Pittsburgh. Either. I just stay out of there. That's right. Don't go there. That's where go to Buffalo, do whatever. It's just not Pittsburgh.
So I have
two in on George.
So Darcy, tell me about James Cook. Why?
I was just about to ask her this build to start here. 3 wideouts and then James Cook.
Well, I needed a running back, and I think he's got some decent upside. He's going to get catches out of the backfield, and that's pretty much it. I would have liked Jacobs and I would have liked Evans, but I'm glad Evans was taken because I didn't really need a 4th wide receiver there. And I just feel like Cook had the best upside out of what's out there.
I love Cook this year, so that's I think
when Brady took over, that was
right.
Yeah,
after Brady took over, he skyrocketed.
He's a nice little value to me, especially tucked away in that 4th round there.
Yeah, they got like Ray Davis there, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to come in right away, and he might be more of a thumper, but Cook's going to be the guy that does the flashy plays and like I said, gets the catches.
Yep, and if it's your home league, you can get both. You could just get Ray Davis later.
Yeah.
regardless. But I'm not too worried about. There is a lot of helium in that balloon right now, though. But the X community, fantasy football community out there, the dynasty community gets way too excited about players way too easily. I think I had James Cook originally when we did the rankings. He was like right outside my top 24. So
I like Cook a lot. Very high on him.
but I also rank up running backs a little high. So that's where that comes in.
I think it's a mental thing with me with Cook. I don't know. It's because he's like Dalvin's little brother, and he's also actually small. Or I just feel like he's always ready to break, and I feel like as soon as they start using him, it's going to be done, type of thing. I don't have any warranting for it. It just feels that way. On top of all of the normal Josh Allen reasons, and I don't know. I'm hoping James Cook has a great year, though. I have owned a good amount of him in the past, but it's hard for me to. I don't know. It's good.
It's a mental block. I get it. Look,
I really like it, and I really like James Cook and her start, but otherwise it's just hard for me to pull the trigger on him.
The gut. Sometimes the gut, you gotta listen to it when it talks to you when you play this game. Throw the analytics out, use the gut. So I get it, but
it's a great receiver start, and it's a good back in that spot for sure.
And I like the bounce back from Waddle just a lot this year. It was just, it's not even a bounce back to me. It was just such a weird year. He was like hurt every single week. He exited a game with the back spasm or this or that. Just a awkward season. And then Andrew, you got the coveted Kyle Pitts. Congratulations. That's Sean's favorite player right now.
I'm a Pitts for lifer. I don't care. I'm probably gonna own a ton of them this year.
I'm definitely gonna. I've never ever done it, so like I've never gotten burnt by him. But this is the year that I'm actually in on him. Cousins there, new offense, everything. Just we know Cousins can throw to a tight end too, by the way. So that kind of just all bakes into that. Where in that fourth round, if I miss out on the other tight ends, I have him right back there in that fourth round. And I'm making sure I get one of them.
This is like for me, it's like this is the last chance for me to have like an explosive value, like a tight end. So when I'm looking at other wide receivers and running backs in that spot that are just kind of meh at this point for me, I'm knowing that I'm coming back around, I'm like, okay, I better just do it because 8 picks right now is a far ways away, and maybe no one takes Pitts, but maybe he does, and then if I miss Pitts, I'm probably out on tight end for quite a bit at this point.
So I have a question for everybody that's here. How do you feel in a home league? Obviously it's a managed league. How do you guys feel about stacking versus, the correlation, the uncorrelation? How do you all feel about that? Because I'll just tell you, me personally, I don't think it's necessary, but it's nice in certain situations like a Mahomes, Kelsey, you get Lamar, Mark Andrews type thing. It's fine, but I'm fine if I don't get it. So what do you all think about stacking for a home league draft?
If it's organic and it happens, it's fine. Like I did a McBride Kyler stack on Friday night, but it happened. It was like an 8th round cut. Yeah. So it just worked out that way, but I'm not going to reach for it like it's best ball. Right. It doesn't cross my mind like I have to have it like it's best ball, but if it can organically kind of fall in place, I'm okay with it. I don't really chase it though. Is there? I don't even know. Do we have any best ballers here?
I'm not.
I don't. So I'm not either. So I really have I can't really even comment on it.
It's not best ball that warrants stacking necessarily. It's the tournament format where the playoffs are thousands of entries, where you need like marginal ceiling like improvements. So I would say in regular like 12-team league, you don't need to worry about it at all.
You're on the clock too, by the way, Spence, in case you.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh, cool. I'm just making sure. I got things planned in case you get.
Let me reset the clock. It's the second one. I'm like, I don't know. You took Neighbors. I wanted Neighbors.
Yeah,
How do we
that's
feel
a,
about neighbors?
it is a
another
mock, so
issue.
I feel more comfortable here because it is a mock draft with them. But I'm becoming more comfortable with it in real life too.
I'm totally out on MHJ
He's
because of
expensive.
the cost. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
too expensive, but Neighbors is like a good value, I think.
Daniel Jones looks like shit, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
But
rust, right, Sean?
Drew Lock slings it, so
Language.
if Daniel Jones loses the job, then we'll be fine for
Yeah,
fantasy.
I'm kind of hoping that might happen. But I don't see. Yeah, I don't. I don't see a heavy workload. They're going to be trailing too. I don't find the Giants that good.
No,
Two
they're
teams here.
going to be throwing, but they have a good offensive coach. I like Daboll a lot, and I think they're going to play Daniel Jones because he's getting paid like $40 million a year. I mean, they're not going
So
to
they
the
realize
playoffs.
it's not rust.
Well, right. I mean, you kind of have to play him. You know, you invested, and I don't know if you watched the Giants Hard Knocks. The GM, he's been talking. You know, he was like, "We're not going to pay Saquon." Basically, you could just tell he didn't want to pay him anywhere close to what he was asking. And you know, if they could have got Jaden Daniels, sure, but
They would have
you know,
drafted Drake May
basically,
if he fell too.
yeah, for sure, they tried
They
to
would
trade
have
up.
taken a quarterback for
But
sure.
but the thing is you have this much money invested in a guy, you almost have to play him. See what happens. So I don't know. I mean, if he can get the ball to Neighbors, he'll be great.
Neighbors has been compared to Garrett Wilson a lot in the offseason, and you drafted him right at wide receiver 24 streets, which is about what Garrett did rookie year. So
Yeah,
it's probably an at cost pick. Yeah.
It's at cost with upside. Is kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, you got to chase some upside, even if it's not sexy. But in this case, it
Like I
is.
said, it's a mock, so I feel a hell of a lot more comfortable doing it now. And like a lead that I paid for when we get there, but then we got. I'll recap here a little bit. We'll start from the back. Timbo's not here, but he went Gibbs, Marvin Harrison right there, like almost a first round pick, 113. Whew. Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith. April with Puka, Taylor, Pittman, and Brandon Ayuk. Sean, Garrett Wilson, Saquon Barkley. There he is. Your guy that we didn't even bring up yet, but that's why I'm recapping it here. Trey McBride, Mike Evans, Mr. Scampers, AJ Brown, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Mark Andrews, Willie Chase, Henry Cup, Jacobs. Darcy went with the 3 wideouts to start. Amon-Ra, Olave, Waddle. Came back with James Cook, BK, Big Texas, Hill, Pacheco, Samuel Mixon, Kittle, Doc with Lamb, London, 8-Chain, DJ Moore. He's gonna tell me that was a value pick there. Lamar Jackson, Andrew with Jefferson, Colin. There's a count, but we never talked about this either. So Andrew, I want to ask you this. I'll pause real quick. You're a Collins guy right there too, huh?
Yeah, Nico.
Because I know Sean is too, so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah,
Is
you
it
know what?
because he went to Michigan?
You know what? It has nothing to do with the Michigan factor in this case. It makes it easy to root for, though. But I'm just fading Diggs. I'm just, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong this year on drafting Diggs, but I probably won't own any Diggs. I'd much rather have drafted Collins or Dell, in the same even range. Frankly, another round or two later, I would have been more on Dell than Diggs. Collins is healthy. He's still young, got the size, full route tree, could play him anywhere. He's going to be an end zone target and short yardage even. So, and I think we were pointing this out maybe even last week, was like Stroud only had 20 TDs last year. I mean, if Stroud goes up to 10 more touchdowns, he's up to 30 TDs. I mean, this could be exponential for everybody, even Collins. If he loses some on targets, maybe he makes that up with some scores. So either way, I'm just all in on Collins. I don't have any problem taking him in the second or third.
Okay, perfect. Everybody right now going right into the segue perfectly here as we're doing this, because that's what I was going to ask is it my fear is Diggs and Collins have the same type of season? Do they end up ranked wide receiver, whatever, 13 and 15 at the end of the year when it's all said and done, and you can get one like 4 rounds later? That's my only question with Nico. But and that's kind of why I have him ranked where I have him. But you're not the only one. Sean's trying to sell me on Nico for a month now. There.
And it's the Diggs thing too. I'm sorry, like you
He's
get yourself out of Viking territory, you get yourself out of Bills land, like squawking around a little bit already in camp. Like I just
he could chirp for sure, and that gets old
negative
after a
vibes
little.
for me. Negative vibes. I'm out.
Yeah, there you go. See,
that's too good that they all go.
Anthony Richardson from April, and she's upset about it.
Not really, April.
Love it.
Not really.
Just watching Collins and CJ last year. Collins.
You're a Texans fan.
Houston is in the house, right?
He has it, man. He can go downfield. He can do whatever CJ wants him to. They're connected, but him and Tank are too. I'm kind of.
He loves Tank.
Yeah, I think we could see a similar situation to like 2021 Steelers and 2022 Bengals, where all three of the wide receivers on the team just finished like top 30. The odds of predicting which one it is that will do that though is it's hard to tell. So I kind of agree. I agree with Mike. Just take the ones that are cheaper and
the cheapest
hope
one.
You get it right for free.
Yep. Hope he's the one who stays healthy, because if one does go down, you're probably looking real good then.
I think what's going to be crazy, Spence, is like next year when we have to compare all the other NFL teams to the Packers, who have 4 number 1 wide receivers.
But some of them suck.
They have 4 number
it's
1.
not that big a deal. Like Dobbs and Watson, yes, are like snap share wide receiver ones, but they're pretty bad, I would say. And Wicks and Reed look pretty solid from efficiency standpoint and stuff. So I'm not too worried about that, honestly. But then they do have 2 tight end ones, so who knows who's going to come out of Kraft or Musgrave or who stays healthy. They're definitely pretty loaded in the receiving position.
It's not great for fantasy, but it's like, it's like really good for Packers, like to have all of the options. I mean,
I think each week it's going to be somebody different.
Loaded quick.
And hold on real quick. I know he's picking, so that's why Bijan Allen, Laporta, Zay, and Cooper for him. Brees Hall, Travis Kelce, my tight end one still. DK Neighbors. Pickens for me. I've talked enough about DK and Pickens probably the last 2 weeks, and I don't really need to deep dive into that. And then Spence, CMC, Adams, ETN, Walker, and Dalton Kincaid. By the way, I like that value at Kincaid in the 5th.
Yeah. I wanted Kincaid.
I like that a lot.
Really wanting
like that's nice. If you could get 4 players and then Kincaid still, that's just that's like for a fallback on tight end. That's how you do it.
It was hard to press the button, but I made myself do it.
It's going to be a big year. I'm not worried. Dawson Knox does not worry me at all in any capacity. I don't know why people are even He didn't have over. He played 12 games last year. He didn't have over 36 yards once in any of those games. Like the best friend thing is kind of like comedic to me with Dawson Knox. He's not going to throw him a football. Maybe they go to 12 personnel this year. Kincaid's going to get all the passing work in that situation, even if the snap share is like a 68. I don't even know what the other one would be. It's not great, but still, it's good enough. And Kincaid could easily lead that team in targets still. So I like that pick in the 5th round.
Another guy here in round 6 I really like is Calvin Ridley. I think people are kind of down on him.
You got to sell me on Calvin Ridley right now. That's what you need to do.
Okay. So for me, I look at Calvin Ridley as, he was inches away last year from 3 or 4 more touchdowns. They just missed connecting.
Hey. So was Swift. You can't count those. Swift literally fell to 1 like 7 times, bro.
That's because Swift isn't a good runner. It's fine.
But Ridley isn't either. It's the same principle, same concept here.
Anyway, I like Will Levis. I think the Tennessee offense is going to be kind of sneaky. There's some sneaky value there. I'm very high on Ridley this year. I debated him and McLaurin. Ultimately, I just went with McLaurin because he has less target competition. But you can't go. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these guys there in that range
until the inevitable McCaffrey breakout there.
Luke McCaffrey.
Oh yeah. I mean, who knows?
You know what's funny? I
Benson,
I was
break
doing
up.
research for the draft, and I plucked Luke out as someone I liked, like just a sleeper, like probably going like round 5 or something that I was gonna grab in like the round 4 of the dynasty
Oh,
draft.
Spence just got sniped on Swift.
In the chat, in my group chat that we talk like crap about everybody in, I was like, oh snap, Luke went in the 3rd, like let's go, like that's one of the guys I liked. And then everyone was like, why do you care about this Nepo baby? And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, it's Christian McCaffrey's like brother or whatever. I had no idea. Because I
Yep.
didn't look at like his biography or anything. I was just looking at his stats and stuff.
He was
So,
a converted what too?
a quarterback, I think.
Yeah, he was a quarterback.
Yep.
So I think they'll try to utilize him in like different ways. I don't know. It might not be good for fantasy. It could end up being like a Kyle Juszczyk kind of role, or like a Taysom Hill kind of thing where it might not translate as well. But I don't know. I think
Might not,
he's
but you know
got
what?
potential.
He won't overtake backing up Terry, but he did like it's not a hard task probably. I hate saying this to take over Dotson there. So
Yeah, I mean he's a non-factor. We don't even need to discuss him.
which if
another guy in
Jaden
this
Daniels
round.
is decent, it could be a decent role for McCaffrey there. It's a
Chris
nice-
Godwin. That's another one I really like in this round.
I do like.
Yeah, I
Godwin.
like Chris Godwin a lot.
Back
I would
in the
take Chris
slot.
Godwin over Ridley and McLaurin. Personally.
And Andrew,
What's up?
you gotta at pick at 6'9" here.
The
I'll
number one
keep it
receiver for
sure.
the Chargers.
But anyways.
is who I picked.
Oh no. Pete King.
You need to tell. I know, but you got to explain. It seems a little where I would rank him a little early, but it's
Should I
okay
pick
if you like him
Palmer
that
in
much.
the
So go ahead.
10th?
What's up?
Should I pick Palmer in the 10th?
No, I'm good on Palmer, but I think you.
Oh.
I don't know. I just don't know, man. You're a Michigan fan too, right?
This chat is too much.
Right? You are a Michigan fan. So
Me? Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. My fear is that they just
I already drafted Nico. What do you want me to do, man?
No, I'm talking about where I like Ladd. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Ladd here.
I
It's just a
know.
little early for me, and my fear is they just run the ball heavy, not a high volume passing attack, and
I don't know.
Maybe
If
he
you
isn't.
look at
I don't know. Maybe he's a-
you want Keenan Allen over him? No.
so no, because I'm probably not drafting
Right.
Keenan Allen.
You want
That's
Rome?
the kicker.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about
We're
who?
talking about
Ladd.
Ladd. We're talking
I
about
mean,
Ladd and where you take him, if it's early or not. That's what we're.
I think Ladd.
it was a receiver need, and like in the next 10 receivers, I don't think there's anyone better than him on that list, like immediately, unless I'm going for that like Rashi's scary because I don't know yet, and Xavier Worthy is volatile at best for me right now. So I couldn't go for that KC stack. I feel like I needed a little bit of like reliability here for that third receiver spot, and I just feel like he's going to be that PPR dude.
I needed to hear that. That's good.
He's
See,
probably
like,
going to get a
he-
lot of targets.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's like Calvin Ridley.
Now here's
I
a
just
guy.
I gotta be sold on it. Like,
If Ridley or McLaurin would have dropped to me, I would have taken either of them. But McConkey's pretty up there for me at this point in this draft today, right now. Like
I'm praying God.
it was a neat thing.
I do.
I think
Speaking, by the way, Spence, because he just took Rashid Rice. It does look like he might not be suspended this year. I know it's
he's
risky.
definitely not getting suspended this year. The
So
court
that might
date's
play
not
a
until
part.
December.
Uh-oh. Well, hold on. I'm on the clock for hold on here. What I got?
Take your time, please. Get a little peek there. See what you need.
I think I don't want to talk about guys who haven't been drafted that much because it might influence things, but I think if you use the word reliability, I don't want to put a rookie in there.
I think
personally.
that's totally fair to say that.
I do agree though. Like, who cares between the rookies? If you like Ladd over Worthy or BTJ or Keon, like none of that doesn't matter. Rome either. Like, who cares? Like, yeah, they're all rookies. You're shooting for upside. But there's definitely some bets that are available still that I would say are a lot more consistent. Like
I see a
throughout
few.
their whole career. There's two like really that once they're drafted, I'll say they're the ones who I was thinking of that I think would fit better for like a nice flex, and then in the next round when you get your first or second bench player, then you can shoot for the fence, like shoot for the moon with a rookie type thing.
Uh-oh, he's here. Look at this. Look who's back.
Yo, what's up?
In case anybody was wondering, if you hear CM Punk, that can only mean one person who's jumping on.
What's going on, everybody? You guys are
Tim, you haven't been on here. You haven't been on
man?
talking football in like a year.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been like 9 months at least. Since Justin Fields versus Caleb Williams. That was the last thing we talked about. It was a long time ago.
Oh man! So you just joined in. How do you like your team here so far? We joke because I don't know if you were listening, because you auto picked Allen in round 3, the last mock, and I joked that that's not even, you would have taken it before that, and sure enough, you just did it again live, and you made
Not in round 3. I took him. I was actually. You know what's funny? First of all, I don't know why you need to sit over here awkwardly. My wife Melissa, what's good? Say what's up. She played in her first fantasy league last year. She won it. So I mean, like, I give her all the props.
Nice job, Melissa.
And no, I'm on the clock. I gotta make my pick. Then I'll talk. Let me make my pick right quick. Man, a tough one here. Maybe I'll take a wide receiver handcuff. You know, when Keenan Allen gets hurt, you know, Roman is going to step.
Here we go with the wide receiver handcuffs.
So like maybe that wide receiver handcuff like is a right away thing. I felt like I need a second running back or something here.
That's why she won the league, bro.
Exactly. There it is. Oh, I love it. No, you guys were talking to Doomsday. That was the only
Man's gonna grab Rashad Bateman real quick.
No, I'm gonna take Jaden Reed because I do think that he's gonna be Jordan Love's number 1 wide receiver there. So Jaden Reed, give me my 4th wide receiver. Keenan Allen will get hurt at some point. Roma Dunze is still too young to be my wide receiver handcuff, although I think he's gonna have a banger year this year. But Jaden Reed, I definitely think is their number 1 option in Green Bay. So give me Jaden Reed right there in that spot. I got my team. I got potential to have running back 1. I got potential to have quarterback 1. I got potential to have tight end 1, and I just loaded it with a bunch of wide receivers. So I love what I'm doing right now. Gator Raiders, my guy. Scott Fishbowl draft. We had a hell of a time, brother. Man,
you guys had way too much fun at that draft.
My God,
it was awesome.
Blake, Sean, the rest of you I've never met before yet. I'd love to thank you guys, man. Man, you guys are awesome.
Spence, here's one, man. Right? Let's see.
That's one.
Good job.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, nailed it.
See, I like Beyonce.
Darcy just stole my pick too, for the record. You got the fist.
Yeah, I was hoping to get Brooks.
My bad.
No, Deontay's a good pick.
You're all sharks. See, that's the problem. Everybody here's a shark. So, like, I feel if you think you can wait around to get someone with everybody, you're not going to get them. I feel like at least in my home league, I can get them.
I think people forgot like how awesome Adam Thielen was at the beginning of the season last year.
Yep.
And Bryce sucked still during that period. It's not like Bryce was good or something and he got bad. No.
Now they got a better coaching staff in place. I think Bryce Young's better this year. Deontay is he's better than Thielen.
Hey, Streets, we need the Denny's clip.
Did someone swear?
We need the Denny's clip. Yeah, in the chat. We need the Denny's clip.
Let me see.
I don't know this clip.
Hold on here.
Oh man.
Oh, look who did it.
What?
Scampers did it.
Scampers.
Is that like
that
Man. I told Streets I'll try to be on my best behavior tonight around everybody.
I told, and we know if Tim's on, I'll play the Denny's clip like a million times tonight.
I think I've only said like two swear words since I've been on.
You haven't dropped the F-bomb yet either.
You just got on, bro.
Sean, you stacked.
He did.
I love Kyler.
There's Kyler that. See, that's the organic stat.
I like Kyler a lot this year.
And it was close. Right there at 7-2, I was going to go Kyler. I had it narrow. I was between him and Burrow, but
I would go Kyler over Burrow, personally.
I would probably go Kyler over Burrow, too. If I waited on quarterback longer, I would wait for Murray. There's some run option.
And this is another thing, for home leagues. I like the late round quarterback here because you're getting some good value. I mean, like Stroud, Burrow, Kyler, and Dak going in round 7. you build up the rest of your roster. Obviously, there's other guys. Obviously Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, Hurts, all those other guys that went AR, a lot more upside potentially, but at the same time, you're going to get similar numbers from these guys in a couple rounds later, and you might be able to get other position players, more depth and whatnot on your roster.
I love Kyler.
Me personally, I wouldn't go, and this isn't a knock on Tim. I just personally wouldn't go Josh Allen in round 2 or 3.
No, none of us. He
Streets, I was actually going to ask you because I was on doing the AEW stream. I was going to ask you how bad you guys dogged my pick of Josh Allen, and I did it on purpose because I knew you would dog the pick, so that's why I picked it. And I love my team based around him. So
I think Josh Allen.
You didn't do it on purpose.
A lock for QB1 as CMC if he stays healthy, though. Like I don't, or even more honestly. Like you are getting. I feel like you are getting the QB1. Every time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
The hero, I don't care about Diggs gone. He might run more. People might play a little more hero ball. He might get some more rushing yards out of him. Whatever it is, he'll make up for it, and he's still got the quarterback. My Burrow Kyler thing is interesting. So if Burrow, it's where we get the quarterbacks for me. Like Kyler's I got him in round 8. But if I can wait till the 7th, 8th, and I can still get Burrow in my head, I'd still do it. Only because if one guy's going to win the MVP, it might be him outside of Patrick Mahomes in my head.
Doc is going to be so upset. Brian Thomas Jr. is off the board.
The Brooks, Scampers and Dame, you both like Brooks. What's the thought process on probably not getting much production at all the first? What did you say? Half the season or so?
No, I don't think.
In this case, as my third running back, I'm not too worried about it, especially with only a 1 flex league.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is tough to trust it. Any running back coming, in the year 1 off the ACL. But I just think he's got the talent. He got the draft capital. They obviously believe in him. And Chuba's fine. Miles Sanders is not so much fine.
I wouldn't even say fine.
Okay. He's a running back. I guess.
He's barely alive.
I think he could end up being a league winner if he can get back to form and actually looks as good as he did in that 1 year at Texas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Fine was being very generous to
trusting the Panthers, believing in him, whether that's a good thing or not.
I like Brooks. I was going to take him on this round because, honestly, you get the late season upside from him, and Dave Canales running that offense. I think it's a great pick.
No, I think it's warranted. The potential to have, say, let's just project top 10, top 5, top 10 in the last half of the season, and then the later half of the season. That's probably more important than getting a Jalen Warren or Najee Harris who gives you top 25 for the whole season. You know what I mean? Who cares about top 25? You can just grab something off waivers, probably do similar. But if Brooks can actually give you top 10 the later half of the season, it is impactful. It's just, you're taking him in the 7th. And even in this league, that's a starter. You're taking him in a starter slot, if that makes sense. So
yeah, but it's good. You have to get him. You have to get him early so you can stash him, basically.
Yeah.
And I think there's, like you said, there's enough players that you can still get now, where it really doesn't matter so much, I think.
I was going to say, and she's fine. Her
team's terrible. It's over.
No, so even if you can go 2-2, 3-2, 3-3 to start by taking a guy like Brooks who can ramp up, you're fine. It's how you finish. You kind of just said it with as you were saying it. So I don't want to cruise to the playoffs where the team goes down. Then after that, I want to ramp up.
I think Spence is just upset that she's going to beat him in the mock and in Scott Fishbowl.
Probably. Yeah. It's more likely than not, I would say.
And we all saw it. They got their head coach now. He's going to pick one guy, I feel like, and that's going to be him. And if it's Brooks, which I think it's going to be after about a month and they ramp him up, that's
kind of they have a choice. What are they? Yeah, they're not.
They don't really have a choice. No, they're picking slim pickings between the other two.
Chase Brown and Zach Moss back to back.
Wow,
we got to talk about that.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. I was explaining to her about, or we were looking at her team and stuff, and then I didn't even see Chase Brown win. She was like Zach Moss for sure. I was like, let's take Zach Moss. Bang.
I hope he's good for you.
Well, unfortunately for Andrew, that's probably the correct pick then.
Yeah, probably.
Andrew messed up. Sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
That's one that's really tough for people. It seems very 50-50. There's a lot of people that are high on Moss, a lot that are high on Brown.
Hey, there goes that other one.
Pass catching.
Hopkins is who I was talking about, other than Ladd.
I almost took Hopkins over JSN.
Chase Brown he's got the camp hype right now. I hate that, but he got the camp hype. But I think there's going to be a role for both Moss and Brown there.
I think Rome fell really far. I mean, I'm not that big on Rome, but to go 2 rounds after Ladd is like really far.
The thing we don't know how it's all going to play out with Caleb. He's a rookie. Rome could be his guy from day one, and I was
going to call you a homer.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
And it is and if Rome's his guy from day one, getting him pick 90 seems insane. But the other kicker for me on Rome, why I kind of like him in this range, is Keenan Allen might not make it a full year. He might miss 6-7 weeks, and if he does, Rome all of a sudden catapults. Yep.
But so if Moore and Keenan stay healthy, what kind of role does Rome have? Honestly,
it's a good question.
So it goes back to the same thing with Pickens. It goes 2021 Steelers, 2022 Bengals. Like we've seen it multiple times where and then with the Bucks in 22, I think as well with Evans, Godwin, and AB and Gronk. Like you can have 4 guys who are all fantasy producers.
But they were also playing with Tom Brady. Do you believe a rookie can sustain 3 receivers and a tight end?
Well, these days they throw the football a lot more. So maybe.
They're saying around here, Caleb's going to do 3,600, 26, and 12. How is that for your rookie year? Is that sustaining 3 wide receivers and a tight end?
It might make
the tight end is thrown out the window. Cole Kmet's not doing shit here.
Cole Kmet's majority fantasy points is going to come in the red zone. He's going to catch his touchdowns. That's where he's going to get the majority.
He's going to drive you nuts. Yeah, weeks he'll go missing, and then weeks.
He's going to be missing. Gerald Everett will score more than Kmet this year.
Who?
That's bold.
Gerald Everett will score more than Cole Kmet this year in PPR.
Ooh,
that's bold. Oh, I don't think so.
I mean, they're both pretty bad. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Gerald Everett's outscored Cole Kmet for his career so far.
My man,
Andrew,
he gets
40.
He gets.
You're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
I got a fucking dart in my neck, man. Sorry.
I hope
program.
I do like Gerald Everett, but I hope he doesn't outscore. Otherwise, that contract.
I kind of like Gerald though. I'm kind of a long-time Gerald Everett fan, so
I
was really excited for him to get on the team. To be frank, got a little more mobility.
He's a great backup. He's a great backup tight end to come out. We still got Mercedes Lewis roaming around, man. The offense is loaded. We got 3 running backs. We got a bunch of Tyler Scott is the 4th option at wide receiver. Solid. I mean, come on.
Best ball. I'm all in. I think
I'm all in. Come on, I'm all in. I'm all in plus, so I gotta stop.
We all saw the Hard Knocks Bears trailer, right?
Yeah.
3 running backs? What do we even?
I subscribed to Max last week because, well,
yeah, you got it.
And I got the Sopranos on top of it, so it's okay.
What? Who are the other running backs?
Chicago,
Roshan, Khalil Herbert.
They were terrible last year. They didn't know what to do with them.
Well, Herbert ran for 5.4 a carry. Roshan was pretty poor.
Justin ran quite a bit.
Roshan was pretty poor.
Oh,
Herbert will never stay healthy, sustaining.
He's not a starting running back.
It's not. No, he's not.
Right.
So he's nice. He's a nice, flashy guy for once or a few times a game, but that's all he's going to give you.
I think
Roshan is who they wanted to become the guy. Didn't, but he'll probably still do some third down work for them.
The Bears are in the worst spot.
I think DeAndre Swift is going to be good.
They're either going to be good, and then everyone's just going to say you had a stacked roster, or they're going to be terrible like normal, and everyone's going to say you had a stacked roster. How are you terrible? There's no winning this scenario.
or we just win.
I think we're gonna win.
Too.
Or we just win.
Yeah, but then they'll say you should have won because you had a stacked roster.
That's okay. Then I'm glad we
That's
did.
okay. That means we're winning.
I'd be okay with that if I was the Bears fan.
I have never had a stacked roster.
Never seen that before.
Yeah, a quarterback, receiver.
Like 2016 Bears or whatever, that defense was really good.
We have seen good defenses.
2018.
Yeah,
It was like Mitch's
2013.
second year, or whatever.
Man, y'all had Smoking Joe and Brandon Marshall on the same team, bro.
Tim knows Tresticle's offense the first year was great.
Great until you started kicking field goals on second down, and then this guy is.
That was the best offense I ever saw.
Elshon, Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, Matt Forte, maybe the most underrated running back of all time. Yeah, it was a great.
It was great until Cutler quit in the championship game.
Sean misses Rashad Penny already. He just retired.
Rashad Penny was my ride or die every year. And then he just retired on me.
Rashad, wish we would have known you.
I know. My bad.
Every year.
I got you, Sean.
I'll
pour one out for you.
I know
it's a rough day for you.
I had to get myself.
Penny was such a high rookie pick. I think we had just gotten into dynasty football too, and Penny, was the rookie. Man, was so many trades for him right out the gate.
Yeah, there was a lot of hope and hype, and just the damn injuries,
He's only 27, right?
Only
something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, I know he's
85 in running back years.
Yeah,
he was a workhorse in college too. He just San Diego State. They ran him into the ground.
More carries in college correlates to more carries in the NFL, not less.
Greatest running back in San Diego State history. Name him.
Marshall
Falk.
There you go, guy.
Come on.
Well, hey, quick trivia, guys. Come on.
I need ones that are newer. I need post 2000.
See, Spence just turned 21, so he doesn't understand.
No, hey, Spence, what you need is pre-21. You need to go back.
No, post 2000, post the year 2000.
Well, either way, pre-2000, pre-2K, you need to go back. Keep going back.
Can I get some help with my pick here? I've been playing QB chicken with Mr. Scampers here for the last person to take a QB. Do I need to take one
There's
right
a
now?
guy you should probably take. There's a guy you should definitely take.
I know who.
I know
he's going to say Brock Purdy.
There's a very specific
Caleb's
one.
available.
Nope.
There's someone very specific.
Yeah, there's a guy that you got 9 seconds. Nope,
yeah,
that's not the one.
Good
She wanted to take Caleb last round. I was like, we got a quarterback. We're good for a minute. But if we didn't have a quarterback, hell yeah, great pick. Let's go.
So tell me,
that guy has way more.
Tell me what you liked about Jaden Daniels. What is the?
He runs, bro. What?
Well, I know.
He ran for 1,000 yards in college last year.
And do we think he can stay healthy the whole season?
Who cares?
Obviously, I'm bought in because I took the
He's gonna draft Jared Goff in a few rounds anyway.
In redraft, he's spot on. It's redraft, so who cares? If he doesn't last, it don't even matter.
One QB, yeah.
Worried a hell of a lot more in Dynasty than I would be in redraft about him holding up.
You win this time, Scampers, but I'll be back.
Think of, how Justin Fields like to run, right?
Yeah, I don't mind that either, Daniel.
Jaden Daniels took off and ran a hell of a lot earlier than Justin Fields ever did. So, cheat code. He could be a cheat code running back that you get this late.
See now, okay, I agree with Daniel, but also I don't agree with Caleb there. Just because you took
There's
Lamar.
Two better quarterbacks on the board.
Yeah, just if I took Jaden Daniels, then I'm okay with taking another QB soon. But if I took Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes, I'm not taking a QB2 for a while.
This was the argument from 2 weeks ago. I remember this. Yeah. We argued this 2 weeks ago. It was we're running into the I know if you take a quarterback, a big time one, the theory is you don't take another one, right? Till the very end, or you don't take one at all until waivers hit. The problem is that we were talking about last time. That's actually with you, Spence. Is that everybody hoards 2 to 3 of them now? So regardless,
you still take them here in the 14th round. You don't have to. I mean, we're only going at 12 here, but You know what I mean?
I get it. You're just going to see a lot more people, I think, taking a QB2 a lot earlier than before because of the hoarding issue. That's all it is. And
people who take running quarterbacks early will tend to, like I'm one of those guys. Like I've drafted so much Lamar in my life, and like you're like, okay, I got to have a backup though. You got to have someone ready to fire. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm a hoarder, but I definitely go sooner on the second QB when I get a running quarterback.
So the issue though is you took like the concept though is like Lamar. There's no world really where he's bad, right? So it's only if he gets injured where you'd need Caleb, and in that scenario, you're betting on Caleb being like really good off the rip, kind of, because Lamar could get injured week 1 or 10, you don't know. So for like a guy like Lamar, you'd want to take a Cousins or a Goff, whereas with a guy like Daniels, where he might start off shaky, then you might want to, or then it's more important to get the guy early, or like to just take a Sam Darnold for the first few weeks of the season or something, you know.
And then I'll play another just devil's advocate here. I know Tim, who just turned his camera off, but I know what he does.
I'm still here.
Okay. And the trade bait.
Trade bait.
That's 100%. Trade bait turns into a big thing too now because everybody hoards quarterbacks. That if you let's say Caleb's great, you're gonna sell Lamar Jackson now for a second round caliber player. And you're just going to roll Caleb Williams the rest of the way if he turns out to be good, I'm seeing this a lot more now too in these leagues. So that's another factor to it. And I know Tim, that's been for a decade ago. Tim was drafting to trade instead of drafting for his team.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't start winning until like 2 years ago.
until your wife showed you how to win.
Thanks, babe.
She just drafted trades are really.
She just drafted Chuba too. I was like, all right, yeah, we need a running back. She's like, he's pretty good. He'll get some carries. I was like, all right, Jenny, whatever.
It's actually Tim and I shared a team last year, and like
we won a title.
We did, and I made him. It was tough. I know it was tough.
It was uncomfortable.
He couldn't trade. We had to wait till like this. We had to wait to use our future first round pick to like the very last week.
Very
like use it during the draft, which is he's not used to doing. He trades that in the startup draft usually, and then never has one again.
You got to get that extra player. Yeah, you got it.
But we stayed pat. See.
Yeah, we won a championship. Yep, that was great. And I got 4 leagues with Timbo this year, and me and him have been doing this quarterback, non-quarterback early start thing. It's okay. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take Brock Purdy because I do have.
You know me.
I have Brock Purdy in 7 dynasty leagues, so I'm going to go ahead and make him my quarterback 2 right here, just in case anything happens to Allen. And then again, trade bait. And then again, if Purdy is a top 5 quarterback, top 8 quarterback, what does that make Josh Allen's value?
Guys. See, that's the thing. If I'm going to take at this stage and you have a rushing quarterback, and you can get a guy like Purdy.
And then you go trade Allen.
I don't see these quarterback trades you guys are talking about. Nobody trades for quarterbacks in 1 QB. I just don't see it. I've never seen it.
In the home leagues,
in all the home leagues
that I played in,
the home leagues are the only redraft leagues I play. I don't know. Maybe it's the guys I play with. They're just trash.
It's more common now. It feels like it used to not be like that. I don't know what, even like last year, the Lamb trade. It just seems I see more quarterback trades now than I ever saw before, and I don't even know. I just don't know if it's because everybody's courting him. Maybe that's what it is. Because there used to be a day 6-7 years ago, you used to be able to get people would drop Phillip Rivers. You just pick him up on waivers, and he'd finish the season as a top 12 quarterback. So it just doesn't happen anymore.
I'd rather be the guy who's just misses out on having that kind of quarterback, though.
See, so do I, and that's what I was gonna say. Like you can't come to me. Like if I wait till the very end to take a quarterback and I don't have one, and you took 3, like don't come to me. Like I'm not trading you. I'll figure it out down the line doing something else. But some idiot in the league always bites and does it.
I mean, at worst, if my quarterback gets hurt, I got his backup on the waiver. That's at worst. So and there's likely some better option out there anyways.
Know your league too. I guess that's really what that means. So like, if there's an idiot that's gonna do it, go for it.
I'd just rather draft someone in the last round and like hope that they get like some Puka, Nakua, or like Amon-Ra season type stuff. You know what I mean? Like something like that where you're really just you're punting a draft pick for a handcuff. You know what I mean? Like for a running back, it makes sense more where that position's really volatile and the you know what I mean? Like it's a revolving door. You know what I mean? But for quarterback, it's not. I don't think it's as simple.
And also, I don't even have a the one home league I did Friday night. Just so you know, the one I took Kyler, I do not even have a second quarterback. Never took one. The value, even the backups were going too early for me, so I never did it. So I only have one in that one. But is something fallen? Maybe.
Palmer gone.
That was my next pick. So I'm back to the drawing board.
I like Palmer.
I do.
mean,
I
he's
love
terrible,
Palmer.
but
I love
someone
Palmer.
has to get the ball.
For what he is, I love Palmer.
Me too.
He's the same as Dobbs.
He's really.
Like,
hey,
we're both going to be on the field a
been
lot.
there for me in a time of need.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers are going to throw the ball more than people expect. Personally,
Yeah, because
Justin Herbert.
You have one of the best quarterbacks in football.
Yeah.
And
why wouldn't you? Don't overthink it. Like Harbaugh's Harbaugh, but like Herbert's top 5 quarterback. Like he's the dude.
There he goes. Speaking of that, Scampers
Herbie.
is like, yep,
Love
I'm all in
bug.
on him.
Love bug. Herbie.
Top 5 is probably reaching.
See,
that's definitely reaching. But
you know what Gator did?
For the stars.
What Gator just did with his quarterbacks, I love that.
Top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Hell no. No.
There's no, not on any planet
Streets,
is that happening.
You're fucking.
He was on the trajectory.
There it is. I think that was the first one I dropped. That's how good you are, Streets. That's how good Yep. That's how good you are, bro. With that chef's kiss on the clips.
You guys are just two meaty Michigan fans, is what you are.
I don't know. I guess he could be top 5 now that I think about it.
He'd have to. He's going to have
to
to
stop and think about it.
Let's think about it.
Okay, so Allen, Mahomes, and Stroud and Lamar. I think those 4 are locked in. So he could be 5. I don't know who you can pick a bunch of guys to put at 5 instead though. Like
Joe
you
Burrow.
can take Burrow, Hurts, Dak. I think
Like, I believe Burrow could throw 40 touchdowns. Herbert's got to throw 40 of them to be top 5. So.
Oh no, I thought we were talking about like just IRL, not fantasy.
I bet Herbert's going to run a little bit more this year.
For fantasy, I think it'd be hard for Herbert to be top 5. No. Wait, oh no, impossible. I mean, Richardson,
real life,
Hurts.
I'm not sure this year.
Because I was talking about real life. Real life, he has a lot better case. Because Richardson's definitely not better real life, but he gets drafted above him. Hurts, same thing.
Sure.
Kyler, I would say Herbert's definitely better than Kyler IRL.
I expect a lot of ground and pound in LA this year.
I like, the thing about Anthony Richardson is, I mean, he's got so much upside with that rushing Shane Steichen offense. He's got so many weapons. It's hard not to be high on him, I think.
No, for fantasy, yeah, for sure. He was drafted top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have some
definitely be
strength, but I mean,
the heart and packing for Mexico,
but
holding a crying baby.
Shaheed. We don't get punt return points here. No, he's already projected to have a good year. He was already gonna have a good year without those. Whoa, what the?
Who the hell is that?
Scampers, what are you doing, brother?
Scampers, I'm not. You're gonna have to explain that one.
Oh no,
that's a cool name. Hey, that's the guy you picked. So
it's pretty cool.
Darcy, who is that?
You don't take a QB so you can get that guy.
You're gonna have to ask him. I can't answer for him.
He's going with the last round. He's like, I'm picking the cool name.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong. There's a lot of cool names out there, though.
I thought it was that rugby player, but no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not. That's a Kansas City running back.
Do your research. I need to because I don't know who that is.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool names though. Bub Means. I feel like that's
the more you mock with him, the more you'll get to know how he does his last rounds.
Well, if I would have known, I'd have just sniped him.
Oh, I wonder if it's like each one it's like a series. So we have to go look at his previous mocks and see like maybe it's an anagram or something.
Yeah, you should do that.
Like like an acronym or something. Yeah.
He's spelling something
There's a
out. We just
map.
don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get
It's like the Da Vinci
losers.
Code.
Yeah.
I do need to know who that is. Though. Someone needs to tell me who that is because I need.
I mean, he's a nobody. Come on, he doesn't have a face. It's freaking almost August.
It's a person, sir. Everyone's somebody.
HL Zayat.
He said, "Do your research, boys." I mean, yeah, I'm doing it right
I
now.
think it's just a dude staying in Aaron Rodgers' basement.
He wants me to Google some name right now.
He played for
There's a
Eastern
reason.
Michigan.
Something's gonna pop up. It's not even like a cut. There's some story behind him.
Let's see how much
Game on,
he got
guys.
paid. He got 0 guaranteed money. Yeah, it's a wrap, brother. Sorry.
You don't think he can beat out Garrett Wilson?
No, unfortunately.
Oh.
His measurables
Yeah, I
are
know.
5'8", 162.
Sean's hoping not.
I heard he's going to breakfast with Rogers, though.
Oh shit.
So
No,
this
Rogers
weekend-
doesn't. The breakfast Rogers connection isn't a thing. It's ayahuasca and at dinner. That's
Peyote in
That's
the
what they have
desert.
for breakfast.
That's what you gotta do.
Well, with the draft is now
There's
winding up. I mean, there's still some good players here on the board.
There is. That's why we did
We're
12
still
instead of
limited to
10.
12 rounds. We're thinking past 12 rounds so much. We're like, oh, this is the last one. Who do I, how do you round it out,
You're probably right. We're reaching just to get the guys that we
Yeah, I know who I'm grabbing. You guys are never gonna see it coming.
Golf?
Nope. Yeah, start guessing.
Each of you, we'll go down
Start
right now.
guessing.
I'll start with Sean.
Nope.
Tanner
El Sayad is
Mordecai.
already off the board.
I always say once you get past like pick 115, 120, anyways, none of it matters anymore. Nothing matters. You can take whoever you
No, it
want
matters.
whenever you want them. So
It all matters.
You gotta get a nothing else matters clip in here, Streets.
that's
No matter what.
I'll cue that. I'll get it.
You need to play my clip when you say stuff like that, man.
And that's why Tyler Algier, the best running back handcuff, and that's why I took him because you gotta cuff.
Because he's gonna play more than Bijan this year.
I wanted
Again?
Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator from the
That's
Rams
right.
or whatever, the passing game coordinator, to go to the Steelers instead of Arthur Smith. But then he said that Tyler Algier is going to be a big part of the offense, and I was like, hey, maybe we lucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, God forbid.
Sean, what are some late values you like here? I'll ask each of you this.
Wait, who's that? I can't even see it.
Jalen Polk.
Love him.
Training
There's
camp
one for you.
darling.
I think he's one of those late round sleepers. Kendrick Miller I was very high on, but the camp buzz has been
Gotta
really
stay
bad.
healthy. I know that's the camp buzz.
Dennis Allen said this man's trash.
I like Jaleel McLaughlin quite a bit. I think Joe Lombardi and Sean Payton are, historically known for dumping the ball off to running backs. Jalen Wright's another one. For Miami, if Mostert goes down or if Achane goes down, he's going to have a significant role. Me personally, I love Wicks. I just snagged him there because for all the Packers receivers, he's probably my favorite. In these late rounds, I mean, excuse me. Ty Chandler's another one I really like. Aaron Jones, when he's healthy, he's a monster. But if he does get hurt, Ty Chandler to the moon.
He does.
But he's going to factor in. I do love Shakir quite a bit. That was the guy that I was looking at. I personally think he's going to be the number one receiver in Buffalo. I may be mistaken, but that's where I lean. Josh Palmer, again, I think the number one receiver in LA with the Chargers. I think, McConkey's going to have his PPR role, but I think Palmer and Herbert have chemistry. He's played with him now. So it's like in this new offense, I think he's going to find him quite a bit. Corum, I think he'll have a role. I don't know what it's going to be, but if Kyron stays healthy, Corum's just going to be his clear backup.
That's my.
Brian Robinson's another guy I really like too. Everyone's high on Eckler, but me personally, I lean B-Rob.
I don't blame you on that.
I'm not really big on Eckler either. I don't. But B-Rob, we
I might
know
not-
what B-Rob is though, so who cares? Like they're both pretty.
I might.
I
not
mean, you
have
can get
either
him
of them,
late.
yeah,
I mean,
so
Yeah.
there's a good chance I skip over both. and
Right.
don't have a whole lot of either one of them. Because I take running backs early though, so you got to like when we hit the I'll start piling them on again late, but they got to have upside. That's kind of how I work. Only because I take them early. But Tim,
Zamir White, you took Zamir White there. I really like him this year. I think he's going to have that role.
Late, but that's I like it too. It wasn't that late.
Dylan Lobby's going to get some work. Madison's a bum.
I love Zamir.
I like Zamir White. He's kind of locked in for heavy.
They're going to want to run the ball. That's what they're going to do.
We say that every year, though. We say like, "Oh yeah, this guy's locked in." Like that's what we said about Madison last year.
Yeah, but Madison
and Herbert and Khalil Herbert.
There's something I don't know what it is. I don't know, like the Hulk-looking guy.
Well, someone else is saying the stats too. Like he didn't get ever more than like 160 carries in a season, even at Alabama. So he's never really proven that he can even do a full workload for a year.
No.
So I mean, maybe that works in his favor because like he doesn't have a totality of workload on his body, but like he hasn't also proven that he can do it over a whole season. So he might be Hulk, but like I don't know what that means. It was a good ending to last year, but like. It's a good.
Well, he looks like him. I'm not saying he is Hulk.
Right.
No.
He said, "Quit with the buzzword."
He's going where he probably should go, but it's just like who knows.
Like you're going in the set. You're getting him in the 60s, 70s. So for me, that's kind of it's okay. That's
right.
where
What
I like to take him. I like him a lot. Like when I'm looking where I take. So like you took Swift there. Montgomery goes. They kind of go like right before him, but I'm going to take him ahead of Singletary, Mostert, and all these other guys. I feel more comfortable there. I feel workload similar, if not actually heavier, and I feel like he'll last there as that back. Not sure. I like Mostert. That's tough to repeat what he did. You're getting him super late again this year, but still, they got the rookie there now. Does A-Chain stay healthy?
You don't have to take a running back. You're comparing him against all these running backs near him. You can just take a different position. Like I'm taking Rashee Rice over Zamir White every day. Yeah, just don't take those running backs.
See, I don't know if I agree with
draft the ones later.
Here's the kicker there, and I don't think I do that. Rashee Rice was great to end last year, but he was seeing 8 targets in those games, and now they add Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown there. Like if Rashee Rice is going to have to compete and split 8 targets now with 2 other guys, and Travis Kelce sees a bigger workload.
How would he see a bigger workload?
All because it's like that. Well, we talked about this before, which I love. So when you put the speed now out there with Brown and Worthy, you got a lot of decoys that defenses have to pay attention to now. I think you're going to see a lot more wide open Kelce than we saw last year, and I think that's why I actually have Kelce's my. I mean, it's not.
Why doesn't that mean the same thing for Rashee?
But,
why doesn't Rashee get the decoy bonus if Kelce does?
Because we still, even being said there last year, I still never seen Rashee Rice do it. I've seen Rashee Rice get 8 targets a game for a half a season. That's all I've seen Rashee Rice do in my entire life.
A lot of Rashee Rice targets were manufactured for him, almost like in a Debo-like way.
Yeah, because they had no competition
in the third.
So like.
I love Rashee. Rashee helped me win my title last year.
Debo went in the third with these.
Like I've seen Travis Kelce be one of the best players in all of football, and I think he's going to be that again this year. Rashee Rice, as great as he was, they had nobody else to throw football to outside of Travis Kelce last year, and I do think that's going to change this year with the 2 wide receivers that they brought in. So I do like Rice, and I think where you're getting him this late, that's great, but who
cares about Hollywood?
He's going to take it. I think Hollywood's going to be a little better than people think.
Yeah, I want to see him in Kansas City.
Yeah, he's not great, but he's been decent everywhere he's gone.
That's just one example. So. Then you should have took Hollywood over White.
No, Zamir. I think there's going to be 17 to 18 carries a game there out of Zamir White this year.
Oh my God!
Hey, that's you guys are arguing about Rashee and Hollywood and Xavier Worthy. I took Ladd McConkey. Okay. Lad.
That's carries a game too.
That was the first mistake of the draft, right?
I know 17-18 touches is a lot. 17-18 carries plus targets is insane, bro.
Well, I'm not sure how many
chance he receives anywhere near that.
I'm not sure if he catches 30 passes this year, I would be impressed with that. But that still doesn't not. But he's
Zamir.
still.
That'd still be like 50 targets.
But still only back end RB2 to me. I don't. It's his touch total. He ain't gonna be like a 300.
He basically just took Zamir White and was like, "All right, Josh Jacobs stuff. Here you go." But you're just expecting him to be worse. I just feel like he's probably not Josh Jacobs. He probably sucks.
I don't know. What do you forget? He averaged
The volume
22
at the
plus
back
carries
end,
a
yeah.
game when he was there last year. The last month of the season, he was well over 20 a game.
It's like
he
3
averaged.
games, bro.
That was,
What was that,
well, like
Darcy?
5
What did you
games,
say?
but still.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, the volume that he got in the back end of the season was monstrous, and
Right.
I mean, who knows?
That's
if
what they're gonna
that'll
do. They're gonna
continue,
run the football.
It's just
The defense is not bad.
we've
Like
seen it.
that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, their defense is very solid. It's a little
It's just a
underrated, actually.
constant
They'll be in games.
you're repeating
gonna-
the same information, but it only works for your side though, because you said Rasheed only got 8 targets in the last half of the season, so I don't care. I don't want it. It wasn't enough. And then with White, the 5 games at the end of the season, now those are gospel.
Well, I
Like-
think with the
No,
one
that's
thing
not
for
what I'm
that
saying
is
though. I'm telling you that the 8
easier
now
to
has to be
guarantee a
split
running back
between 3.
touch, though. Like in this situation,
Correct.
because
I
no
can
one else.
guess the running back
Madison is not
touches.
going to do that. But like Reishi, it's now more of a dividend with the
Correct.
KC wide receiver unit. So
You don't
I mean,
know he's getting what he
there's
got.
less
last year.
RBs to concentrate those touches to, in Raiderland versus receivers versus in KC.
Correct.
Sorry, hope I'm summing that up there.
Well,
That's
because
kinda- no,
you
that's-
care
that's
about
it.
Hollywood, or you're saying Xavier Worthy's gonna take all these touches. He's
I
probably
don't think
not.
Xavier Worthy has a bigger role this year.
He might
probably
not,
doesn't.
but if he eats a little, that's all it takes. You weren't looking at a target hog there last year with him in Kansas City. You just weren't. And then you have 2 more talented wide receivers there now. I like Rashee Rice. It's great that
I
late.
kind of disagree, bro. Hollywood was maybe talented a couple years ago, and I just don't. I mean, he's not bad by any means. He's an NFL caliber player, but I don't think he's not worth he's not worth mentioning in the way that he's gonna bring someone else down or something like that.
I'll go to you now since tell me the guys you like late then as we wrap this up.
In mine? Oh, right here.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I liked everyone. I liked what Sean was saying about all the guys that everyone took. No, I mean I really do. Judy, I think, has a decent chance of being like the wide receiver 2. Elijah Moore's nothing special, so that's a good pick. Josh Downs, I think, had a really good year, like peripheral wise. Like he didn't score as many fantasy points as the other rookies last year, but like as far as the targets and everything were concerned, I feel like he's really underrated. Daubs is definitely going to have probably the highest snap share of all the wide receivers on the Packers, but he probably sucks. But there's a good chance just being on the field and being with Jordan Love means that he gets force-fed targets and stuff, and he'll do well. Leggett, I really like that pick. It's like Leggett and Ladd, 5-round gap or 4-round gap or whatever. Not to diss Ladd, and Ladd is probably better than Leggett.
Out of your mouth.
So like as a prospect, I like him better, but in redraft, you just take one. Like, who cares? Like, a 4-round gap, one could be the wide receiver 1 on either team. You know what I mean? Not to diss Deontay Johnson, who I think is probably the wide receiver 1, but you never know. So that's a good value, I think. Trey Benson's a great value. Trey Benson's like the same thing as Jonathan Brooks, just 2 rounds later. You could get really insane production in the last half of the season, especially if Connor goes down. Keon Coleman could be wide receiver 1.
Darcy, go ahead. Let's hear some players you like late.
Well, I like Herbert late. I know the weapons are questionable, but I still think he's got the talent. Algier, I think, was a very solid pick. I agree that he might be the best handcuff in the league. I like Cortland Sutton. I know he kind of has there's a gross, stench on his name, but he is possibly the wide receiver 1 for his team, and getting him in the 10th is pretty nice. Muth, I'm a big Freiermuth fan. I would have rather have waited to get Freiermuth in the 11th than in Njoku in the 9th.
Yeah, April's good at somehow getting Freiermuth at a steal. It seems like in every single draft, even the Scott Fish Bowl.
Yeah, and we know that what's his name? Arthur Smith likes to do with tight ends. So, we'll see. I mean, I have hope that Muse will be good this year. We'll see, but yeah, I think those are the main ones that I look at that I like.
Nice. Gatorators. Willie.
My favorite picks of the last 3 rounds are guys that have changed situations that last year we were taking at least 5 rounds earlier, and it's not clear whether their situation is better or worse. So Austin Eckler going to Washington, I mean, that guy was a consensus first last year, and we're getting him at the beginning of the 10th. He's older, but I love that pick there. 2 rounds later, Jerry Jeudy was a 5th round pick last year. I would say his situation has improved from when he was in Denver. I'd say what you will about Russ. He's great for fantasy, but he was not finding Jeudy. There's videos all over the place. Yeah. So I like Jeudy there. And then I'm going to toot my own horn. Who's going to be the Chargers running back? They're going to run the ball a ton, but we have no clue who that's going to be. And I know JK's been banged up, but that's the guy I like to come back. If he's healthy, that's who will lead their backfield.
Kamani Vidal.
I like Gus the most, but Gus is just too basic and too boring, and it makes sense that he'd be the guy there because of that reason. But JK got helium again. Here we go. Out there practicing. And then who was that? Spence that said that? I kind of like him too. A little late. I don't know. All 3 of them. You're gonna have to draft all 3 at late and just take your dart pick at one of them. I wouldn't avoid them because I mean it's late enough that if you hit on one of them,
yeah, you got to take them.
You got to take
That's
one
the
of them.
best backfields to take is the ones that you don't know which one.
Ambiguous backfields.
And 2 of them might be fine. 2 of them could probably put up numbers. They're going to run the ball so much some weeks. So got to take all 3. Go Andrew. Go ahead.
El Zayat, obviously.
Shocked nobody's hit on him earlier, honestly.
I wanted to leave that to the pros.
Okay. All right. No, a couple of things I was just kind of peeping with. One,
have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Go ahead.
That good. That's him. I actually was Darcy, the Freiermuth pick. I thought that was really nice late. It's sneaky good this year with a couple guys who both like to throw to their tight ends, no matter who's at the quarterback spot for the Steelers. So yeah, I'm kind of that Freiermuth pick in the 11th. I'm gonna just toot my own horn just because of this draft situation. I really like Hawk in the 10th. I'm getting a premium player. I'm getting a top 4 rounder this late. At this point, I feel like I could shelf him, and he might really help me later. So if I can get Hawk in a draft and anything similar to this, I'm probably going to do that 100% all the time and work around that as a premium plug and play if I have to. Or ends up being maybe a flex. The other one I was looking.
By the way, did you say you're going to toot your own horn?
Yeah, toot my own horn.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
What do I do with my hands?
Anytime. I let you finish it before I cut you off on that one. Whenever somebody says toot my horn.
And then, the other one was even getting Chuba in the 10th was nice. Even if it's for a short amount of time, you could have a running back 1 for 6 weeks. Even if it's your a backup for RB1 or 2, if you went RB early in the draft, I think Hubbard that late was really nice. And Dowdle in the 11th. There's still no running back in Dallas. There's nothing going on there at all.
Have you heard of Royce
I
Freeman?
haven't heard anything out of camp.
Royce Freeman. I'm not even. Oh.
Yeah, Royce Freeman, like that's not going to happen. That's not a thing. Royce Freeman's like 30 and broken and like.
There it is. There it is. Hell no.
Hell no.
But you never know. You never know.
No, I think we know. I think we know, Sean.
But yeah, so I thought a lot of everyone did a really good job late in the draft here.
No, it's just me and you. You don't have to lie to them.
All right, fair enough, Spence. Fair enough.
Well, is that everybody? Tim's gone. He had to bail. Did I get everyone? Yeah.
It,
Melissa said, "You suck. Get out of here, man. You're off the. Get off the."
Tim was doing a wrestling stream, and then he jumped over here. An AEW wrestling stream. Boo.
A&W?
That's I wish you would have said that when I was here. That would have been great.
Guys rolling around in root beer. That's all that is.
I'd pay to watch that.
But I'll start again. Spence, where can they find you?
Nowhere.
People looking for you on Twitter. You're on Twitter, and I know your Twitter handle. Tell them what it is.
I am John Cena. Can't see me.
If you're looking for, if you see a Twitter handle with Jonathan Taylor was running back 1, you know who you just found. It's Spence on there. That's who that is.
Stumbled upon sadness.
Darcy, I nicknamed you something else, but Did you even catch that in the intro? What I said or how I typed it?
Dame Overload.
I think it's Dame Overload. So that means like she's just too good at fantasy.
I think you're muted, Darcy.
I think she is muted too. You are muted.
Oh,
there you go.
Yes. All right. So yeah, Dame Overboard on Twitter, soon to be Dame Overload. Yes. Same handle on Sleeper, on YouTube. I'm not a content creator or anything, just love fantasy football. So yeah, I'm just out in the Twitter streets.
That's why I say that. That's why you share the Twitter handle always. Because you're just finding more people who are all into fantasy football, like everybody here. And Willie
Z31, aka Gatorators. Yeah, I just love fantasy football. I just love football. I'm wearing a 2000 Northwestern Zach Kustok jersey today for any old fans. That's what I'm rocking. So
he wore a Mike Allstott jersey to the draft.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Allstott jersey. That's right. Gatorade.
It's all about the fits, I tell you what. But no, I just appreciate the opportunity to meet folks like y'all and do stuff like this. The live draft was awesome, and I love me some fantasy football DGen. So yeah.
Andrew,
the opposite of a DGen. Degenerate. What are we generating?
Yeah, opposite of DGen. I'm like everyone else, just a lifelong fantasy footballer. Not promoting anything other than myself for now. At Andrew Loophole, just my name on Twitter. Andrew Tux Loophole on Sleeper and Eliminator, I believe. And yeah, just really fun to do this. Really happy to join in. Love doing the live draft. Love getting in touch with the community around here. It's been a fun time. So I really just appreciate being able to get together and do some fun action here.
That's my favorite part of the big mock with everybody hopping on is everyone has a different there's all different takes here. Everyone likes different guys.
Only one of them is right though.
Strategies. So it's fun to just air it all out.
Mike, can you mute Spence? Just
never. I keep saying
that gamer chair kid down there.
I want him to keep saying.
In an argument, that's your guy. He will fight you on anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Well, Spence has homework. He needs to go to look at the NFL pre-2000 tonight.
Yeah,
got this.
Yeah,
I'd sit here for 2 more hours but Sean.
You all know me, the green one, THA_green_1. Appreciate everybody tuning in, hanging out with us tonight. Everybody that joined us on on the stream here. Thank you guys. We appreciate. And Darcy, you did great. I actually like your team the best out of everybody's.
Really nice team.
So
Nice.
No glaze.
Look at them flowers.
Considering she took like 4 players that I wanted, so yeah, in that one that you have your little arrow on there was
April and Dame really kind of pulled through some nice squads here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
April's team is
I was
terrible.
looking at both of those during the draft.
Like I said, just can you mute him?
No.
Yeah. Anyway. Streets.
It goes in order actually, from best to worst, left to right. So.
And if you are looking for Sean, you can find if you do find the green one on X, he's probably hating on.
I hate everything. I said I hate everything.
So he's probably bitching about something out there. But you
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Slow drafts to this, to that, to
I hate slow drafts.
the sun came up today.
Especially that.
But yeah, I'm at Streets of Dawn. You can find me there. You can find all of us back here at some point. Nothing next week, actually. Maybe the shorts will be out though. That's the fun part.
There you go.
Where are you going? You traveling anywhere, or you got a draft?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I know you got a bunch of like. Do you have another? You're
That's
going
not
to
till
Vegas.
September.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to another FFPC draft. That's
FFPC. Yeah.
In Vegas, still live?
Yeah.
Main event?
Yeah. Main event.
So
Super Wreck-It.
When is it?
I'll be in Vegas the September 4th till the 7th. The drafts are on the 5th.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all. Hey, thanks to everybody that came on. I had a blast, and I love everybody bickering and talking smack and doing the whole 9 yards and sharing their stuff. So thank you all for coming on. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Mr. Scampers out there drafting, making us laugh in the comments, and everybody else out there. Doc, who I know is getting ready for Mexico with the kid on his lap right now, and everyone else that watched. Thank you. We will see you next time.
Peace.